What is going on today, guys? AU here, and today we're finally bringing you some more competitive Pokemon. I was supposed to have this video go out last Friday, but scheduling got all kinds of messed up. We weren't able to battle before Friday, so I'm battling Sunday night, and this should be going out on Monday at some point, sometime. I don't know when. But if you are new here, like I said, I usually put out videos like this every Friday. This week is really big as far as the amount of draft league videos I'm gonna have up on the channel. We're gonna have this video up today, and then we're actually gonna have an awards and kind of series analysis going up with Reb, who is the commissioner for the draft league. You've heard him on other videos. Week 2 of draft league, you heard him last week on the copycat video, and he's actually going to be with me again this week on a Weavile video. So me and him are actually going to team up, kind of do like a series breakdown or season breakdown, and kind of go through. We're going to have like an award ceremony per se the night before, and then we're going to have the video coming out the next couple days. I think I'm actually going to put that video out on Friday, but yeah, so it's a big week for the league. It is the very last week. We are 6-4 right now. We've had a pretty rough end season. We started out really great, but that's partly due to the fact that I don't want to reveal too much information here right at the end, because we're going into playoffs, and I actually have secured my number 2 seed in playoffs. So I already know who I'm playing. Even if I lose this match, I've secured the number 2 seed as long as I get like a -2 differential or better. So I basically have to knock out 2 of his Pokemon, I think, or something like that, which should be doable. So I basically secured my number 1 spot. I know who I'm facing. Also, another big thing is I know who is in the opposite, or who I would face in round 2, and those 2 people I have a really good matchup against. So round 1 is going to be the harder one. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on this team breakdown. We're actually bringing a pretty cool team. Like I said, I'm revealing some of the strats here this very last week, just to kind of keep my round 1 opponent guessing what I'm going to bring, whether I'm going to bring, like you can see on the screen here, I've got Dragon Dance Lapras, and that's because Dragon Dance Lapras with Drill Run runs through this guy's team. You can see his team right here on the right hand side. He's full of ground weaknesses. He's got Wheezing, he's got Garbodor, he's got, who else? Toxtricity, he's got Copperajah. Basically, his team gets run through by ground types. So we're running Drill Run on Lapras with Dragon Dance. I guess I'll just go ahead and get right into telling you the set. So kind of scatterbrained right now, just because there is a lot of stuff happening this week. So we are running Life Orb and Shell Armor. I didn't see a reason to run Water Absorb or Hydration, so I'm just going with the Shell Armor. We got Liquidation, Avalanche, just because if we don't get a Dragon Dance off and then we are slower, then Avalanche is going to do a ton of damage if we're not Dynamax, and it sets up Resonance. And then, like I said, we got Dragon Dance here. We're actually running Max HP, Max Attack. I don't want to run Max Speed, just for the reason of if I Dragon Dance, I'm faster than most of the things on his team anyways, and Avalanche, if I don't Dragon Dance, is gonna do a lot of damage. So that's what we are running. And we're also running a completely different Aegislash set here. We're running a Choice Scarf Aegislash, and this is my main Slurpuff and my main Obstagoon counter. Now, Aegislash can come in and revenge kill Obstagoon. His Obstagoon, he likes to try to sweep with Obstagoon. He always brings Flame Orb, and he rarely brings Bulk Up. If he does, then we have close combat. We're still killing, right? So we have Iron Head, Shadow Claw, Psycho Cut, and close combat. I'm debating on changing this to Shadow Sneak, just because sometimes I'm still a little bit slower, but I think Shadow Claw is fine here. And then we're running Max Attack and Max Speed. I need to speed creep some things, just because it doesn't make sense for me to run Max Speed. I'm gonna speed creep right after this. Actually, I completely forgot I needed to speed creep this week anyways, so it's not a big deal. And Ninetales this week, we're running another different set. We've got Life Orb and Drought with Weather Ball, Solar Beam, Side Shock, Dark Pulse. This hits most of his team for super effective damage, and even still, this Weather Ball, during my mock battles, the Weather Ball 2-hit KOs of Max Spadef Runerigas. So he can't even switch his Runerigas in safely on this Ninetales. So I'm thinking Ninetales lead is probably what I'm going. It's just, if he leads Rune, then we'll have a kind of hard time. The great thing is, though, Runerigus' Wandering Spirit can't actually be put onto Aegislash. So if he does get a KO on like 9 cells or something, I don't really know what I go into if he goes Rune. Maybe I go straight into Lapras. I don't really want Trick Room up, but I can stall it out. Like it's not too hard. So if he doesn't lead Runerigus, I'm Weatherballing, and nothing on his team is really going to take it that well. At 2 hits Wheezing, at 2 hits max HP Toxtricity, which I doubt he's bringing. His Butterfree could be Sash, but yeah, I don't think he's bringing Butterfree honestly this week. So yeah, we have Side Shock because he has like 18 poison types on this team. So psychic type moves are really good against this team. And then Dark Pulse, we have it for that Runerigus, but like I said, Weather Ball 2-hit KOs anyways. So yeah, that's basically it on the 9 cells. And let's see what else we have. We have Skuntank. Skuntank's kind of a meme set. I started out Skuntank with King's Rock and Stench, but then I realized that King's Rock and Stench don't stack. My original thought was Sucker Punch, King's Rock, Stench to like get that flinch chance. If you don't know, Stench gives your attacks without the chance to flinch. They have a 10% chance to flinch now. So I was running like Tail Slap, Sucker Punch, Throat Chop, and something else. But then I learned King's Rock and Stench don't stack, so I changed that to Razor Claw with Focus Energy. This means we have 100% crit rate. It's even still though. Skuntank doesn't do that much damage, so like it's probably not gonna sleep. It's kind of just here as a meme. I want it to kind of be annoying a little bit, and yeah, just to have some fun. I don't think it's. I mean, they can counter Slurpup a little bit, but if Slurpup is running Drain Punch, then this thing could just kind of get shut down. And then we have Braviary here with Heavy Duty Boots, and we are running Sheer Force. I guess I can change this to, I can change it to pretty much anything like Defiant or something. Sheer Force doesn't really do anything for this set. So I have Brave Bird, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Defog. Defog to get rid of the metal spikes that Copperajah can put up if he wants to set up Stealth Rocks with his Runerigus or his Copperajah. We get that. Braviary is not a bad lead against this team. I'm not sure how much Brave Bird does to a Runerigus, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, that's basically it's pretty standard Braviary that we bring to most matches. And then we have our Focus Sash Flygon with Dragon Claw, Earthquake, U-Turn, and Dragon Dance. Same Flygon I bring to most weeks. So that's the team. Like I said, for playoffs, I've got a lot more planned. So definitely keep an eye out on that. We're actually gonna be changing things up a little bit. I've got a good team that I'm planning on working with that I joined another draft league with, and they're all pretty cool. So I'm sure that we'll be able to come up with some different sets and hopefully get this dub this season. Like first season draft league ever, and we are going into the playoffs number 2 seed. So that's definitely not bad at all. Granted, our division was not as stacked as the other division, but with that being said, there was a lot of games where I don't know. There was the one game where we just got hacked out. There was a couple weeks we just didn't get to prepare. So that's not something I'm gonna do for the playoffs. Like my thought was, this part of the season doesn't really matter that much. What matters is what you do in playoffs, which is what we're gonna be focusing on. So once we hit playoffs, we're actually gonna have a week break. There's not gonna be a video this Friday. Like I said, this Friday is gonna be the award ceremony, and then the next Friday is when the next battle is gonna be up. So that'll be week 1 of playoffs, and then from there we'll have that week, 1 more week, I guess 2 more weeks after that if we make it all the way. So that'll be pretty cool. But with that, guys, I'm not gonna keep you here anymore. We're just gonna jump straight into the battle. Alright guys, we're back and we're post-comming because this has been a stressful battle. Dude spazzed and went off about people watching, said it was against the rules, said he was gonna win. Overall, he gave me a hard time about what day he could play on. So the video is coming out 3 days late already. He's giving me a hard time while we're battling. So I just didn't feel like that was good. I don't know. That wouldn't have been good content to watch. So I'm gonna be post-comming, and I do have a bar across his Pokemon's nicknames just because they were pretty offensive. But like I said, during this match, I was kind of heated a little bit. Like I wasn't thinking straight because I was mad. We had the 5-0 like secured. I was just being dumb, and I'll show you on what turn we talk about that. But one change I did make was I put Nasty Plot on Ninetales, and that's because Nasty Plot Ninetales at +2 OHKOs his whole team. He can't stop it if he's not Akaberry. If he's not Akaberry on the Kaparaja, then I OHKO his whole team. And like I said, he can't do anything about it. I OHKO Runerigus if it's max Spadef plus Spadef. I OHKO G Weezing if it's max Spadef plus Spadef. And everything else is easy OHKO. Like it's not even close. So I changed it to Nasty Plot, and that's what we had the Nasty Plot set up. But I was dumb, and I wasn't paying attention to the sun turns, and the sun went out, meaning I couldn't use Weather Ball. Maybe I should have been Flamethrower for just that purpose, but I think without the sun I missed those calcs anyways. So it's like I said, we missed the 5-0, but I guess I'll just go ahead and start the game. So he did lead exactly what I thought he was going to lead, and he led Runerigus. He's led Runerigus every week, which I led Ninetales because I was like, if he doesn't lead Runerigus, then I can set up on whatever he leads. So I led Ninetales just in case he didn't. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which means in hindsight I could have Nasty Plotted there, but I think Earthquake takes us out, so I didn't want to risk that. So I go into Flygon and he Will-O-Wisp, which was a good play on him. I Dragon Dance, and I was like, well, Flygon's kind of useless at this point anyways, so I go for the Earthquake, but he was Levitate, so it didn't even matter. But then I'm like, this is the play where I'm like, okay, G Weezing can't do anything to Ninetales, so I'm just gonna set up. I'm gonna set up in his face. I'm gonna Nasty Plot in his face, and I'm gonna 5-0 the rest of his team, not realizing that the sun only had 2 turns left, so I kind of misplayed, but it didn't hurt us too much. So I Nasty Plot here, and the Sludge Bombs, he doesn't do enough damage. So we Weather Ball this turn. We OHKO his Weezing. So that's when I was like, okay, we have the game in the bag. But then Sun ran out, so we couldn't OHKO his Runerigus, so we had to switch into Lapras. I didn't max Lapras. I didn't want to risk the Dragon Dance, and looking back, I probably could have Dragon Danced. I just didn't want to risk a crit or anything, so I didn't Dragon Dance. I just maxed. I went for the Max Resonance, and it didn't kill, which actually surprised me a little bit, but that's fine. We just got we got a Geyser off. So after this, he does bring in the Kaparaja. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So he brings the Kaparaja. We Geyser the Kaparaja, and it does over half. It does 58. So after this, we go. Our dynamics is finally over. So here I'm thinking I can Drill Run or I can Liquidation. Drill Run would have KO'd. The Liquidation was a roll. But I was like, I don't want to miss Drill Run and not KO. So I didn't Drill Run. Either way, whatever I went for, I was going to be knocked out and by the Life Orb damage. So I just decided on Liquidation. He was also Life Orb, so I knew whatever he hit, he was going to die to Life Orb recoil damage anyways. So I went for the Liquidation. He lives on 2. Like I said, it was a roll, but we just switched in. I think we went Braviary. So we went into Braviary. I let him attack Braviary because, like I said, he goes down to recoil damage, so I just defog those spikes away because I figured if I can get Ninetales in late game, at this point I can Weather Ball his whole team. We were running close combat on our Braviary, like we said, dealt with the Glalie. That play I was actually debating going into Aegislash because I didn't know if his Glalie was going to be sashed. He also really likes to protect Glalie on the first turn because he's usually moody. So I was thinking about going into Aegislash, but then I figured the Aegislash was a lot more useful than Braviary was at this point. So if he was to kill Braviary, then that was fine. We just got to go into Aegislash afterwards. So that was kind of my thought process. Luckily, he wasn't sashed. We got the KO on the Glalie. And then here, I brought Skuntank here just because I wanted to have some kind of fun set this week, and surprisingly enough, it worked. I wish you could see my reaction on when it worked, but I've already deleted those recordings. They're not even going to be in the video. But we were running a Razor Claw, Focus Energy, and Stench, so we had the chance to flinch him with things like Sucker Punch or Tail Slap or something like that. So at this point I realized, well, Skuntank's not really great in this matchup anymore. If he is belly drum Slurpuff, then he gets the belly drum off and he gets the drain punch. So Skuntank at this point isn't great. So he gets the knockoff, he knocks off a Razor Claw, and at this point I focus energy, I think. Yeah, I use focus energy, and I was like, he's gonna go down anyways, so we just sucker punch, and then we crit him and we flinched him all in one turn. It was amazing. That was probably the only time in this whole battle that I actually was having fun and like battling this guy because we crit him and we flinched him, and it was like, finally he's giving me such a hard time. At least I get this from the battle. But yeah, like I said, at this point I'm not even worrying about differential. The only reason I was worrying about differential is because if I did get a 5-1, then I was third overall in the league. But at this point we're down 2 Pokemon. Differential doesn't matter anymore. I'm just winning the game. So it goes for the Facade. I bring in Aegislash. We know we're Scarfed. He doesn't know we're Scarfed, so he obstructs. We close combat. But then we're stuck in a close combat, and I know at this point that I'm just going to close combat him again, and if he brings in Slurpuff, I'm going to have to switch out and he can belly drum and get unburdened. But that's fine because even if he belly drums, he can't, there's nothing he can KO us with, basically. Like, Slurpuff doesn't get a move that can KO Aegislash while we're in shield form. So then we get to what's it called? We get to come in, they get to hit us, and we get to revenge kill it with Iron Head. So that was kind of my thought process there. So I switch in Ninetales, he goes for the Play Rough, and he gets a Tag Drop, which doesn't matter. At this point I Weather Ball, and I'm like, okay, he Play Rough, so that means he didn't belly drum, he didn't get unburdened, we're going to be faster, and we can Oko, which now I know why he Play Rough, just because he was Focus Sash. But still, that just means that now he really doesn't have anything to kill Aegislash with, so he does get his unburden, he misses Play Rough, and then he just goes to Play Rough the next turn. And at this point I think we just brought in Aegislash and we finished it up with Iron Head. So that was pretty much the game. Like I said, there was a ton of drama before, during, and after the game. You can see all this right here. It's all drama. But we pick up the win. It was a stressful last week for regular season, but it is the last week for regular season. We finished off 7-4, and for our first ever draft league, that is not bad. Like, that's really not bad. A lot of the games that we lost, we just didn't prep for. I think every game we prepped for, well, I taught him one. I guess Marta D we prepped and we actually still lost. But every other game that we prepped for, we won. So that's going to be the main idea going through playoffs. We're going to prep. We're going to bring some cool sets, and we're going to win this league. So yeah, like I said, basically that's the end of the regular season. Come back on Friday. I'll be pairing up with Eli to go through like a whole season 1 breakdown, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Sorry for this kind of weird post commentary, but like I said, I had to do it because during the match I was just kind of heated and wouldn't have made for great content. So I guess with that, guys, that's where I'm going to leave you. So if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.